Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with Ripe for Reissue. And oh, this one is so ripe. Oh my goodness. It's so ripe, it's ready to fall apart. It's juicy. It's this thing, this box. Schubert's complete piano music for four hands, performed by the duo Tal and Groethuysen. A wonderful, wonderful group. Fabulous players, on Sony Classical. Now, this thing was issued as individual discs, some of which you can still find. It was issued in one of those plain, boring boxes that looks like, oh, I don't know, wait a minute. Here's a typical example. One of these budgie box things. This is the Budapest Quartet, but there you go. And deleted and issued and deleted and issued and deleted and why? It's not like these things are exactly thick on the field. I mean, the music, of course, is wonderful, and actually there is, thank God. I mean, the Schubert music for piano four hands or piano duo or whatever it is, it's been recorded, bits of it, very frequently. The most popular things, like the Fantasy in F minor, the Grand Duo, or things like that. But the complete stuff, and there's tons more. There's marches and dances, and it's just marvelous, marvelous music. Schubert was the master of this medium. Of all the great classical composers, he wrote the most original music for piano four hands. Happily, the lovely independent label Divine Art has a complete set here, including Schumann Polonaise Encores. Well, they have even more, you see, than Tal and Groethuysen does. This is with Goldstone and Clemmow, and they're an excellent, excellent, excellent group. So we're going to talk about what the repertoire is for piano four hands, and why this should never have been deleted, and thank God this is still available, because you're going to want to have a couple boxes. I mean, why not? I mean, what's not to love, honestly? This has a book. This is the earlier set, because of course the budgie reissue has absolutely nothing of any use to tell you what's in it. This, of course, also has a lovely book on Divine Art, and I can't recommend this strongly enough if you can't find this, too. I mean, even if you can find this is just as good. I'm bringing it up because they're lovely people at this label, and they have an amazing catalog of mostly contemporary music, but they've also got some fabulous transcriptions and things that I've talked about, some of them here, like Tchaikovsky's Fourth or Scheherazade or whatnot, like just really neat stuff. So I am more than happy to give this a push. Absolutely wonderful. But we're talking about ripe for reissue, so we're back to Tal and Groethuysen. And let's see, here we go. Shall we talk about what these things consist of? So you know what the Schubert music for piano four hands is? It's amazing. I love the medium. You activate the whole keyboard. It just sounds so rich. Let's see. Overture in F major, D675. 8 variations on a theme from Harold's opera Marie in C major. This is D908. It's a late work. Some of these are late works. They're masterful late Schubert. Rondo in D major, and the 3 heroic marches, Deutsch 602, and the Fantasy in F minor, D940, which is, of course, one of the all-time great piano four-hand works, and it's late Schubert, a 20-minute single-movement extravaganza, which you really should have memorized if you don't know it. It's just glorious. Then we've got the introduction, 4 variations on an original theme and finale. Again, some of these are very large works. They're big works. Here's a masterpiece, the Divertissement à l'Angoisse in G minor, the Divertimento or Divertissement on Hungarian motives. There are 2 of these divertissement things, one on Hungarian motives, one on French motives. And again, they are masterpieces, and people are just starting to sort of, get into them and understand them. And a lot of this stuff has been orchestrated, which is really fun. And I mean, you could do like a whole program of orchestrations of Schubert four-hand music, which would really be delicious. Then 6 polonaises, Deutsch 824. The Divertissement, by the way, just to go back to that, I mean, these are good 30-minute, 35-minute long works. They're not slight. I mean, they're major Schubert. Let's put it that way. Then we've got disc 3, the Allegro in A minor, subtitled Storms of Life. Deutsch 947, one of his last works again, and it's 15 minutes long. I mean, it's big. That's my point here. 4 more polonaises, D599, 8 variations on a French song in E minor, and the divertissement on sur des motifs originaux français in E minor. This is the French divertissement, which is a good 30 minutes of music in 3 movements. Just fabulous stuff. Then we've got 6 grand marches, Deutsch 819, and Schubert's grand marches are grand. The number 5 in E minor, the grand march in E minor, is 18 minutes long. It's a Mahlerian, Brucknerian Schubert thing. It really is kind of amazing. Then there's a rondo in A major. Can you imagine that? 18 minutes long. Another one is 11 minutes long. These are just massive pieces. Incredible pieces. Then we've got the Grand Duo, which of course is a symphony that never got orchestrated, but it did get orchestrated by other people, and it ought to be part of the repertoire of Schubert symphonies. It really should be. For some reason, it's never quite taken off, even though the orchestrations by Joachim and Weingartner and the like are very good. But I don't know. It's a masterpiece, and it really deserves to be stuck up there with the Schubert symphonies. Then we've got the Grand March Funèbre, the Great Funeral March in C minor, which is 13 minutes, and the Grand March Héroïque in A minor, which is 15 minutes. Whew. CD 6. 8 variations on an original theme in A flat. Then the Grand Sonata in B flat major, Deutsch 916. It's not that grand. I mean, it's 15 minutes long. In 3 movements, but it's still a major piece. Then we've got, the Trois Marches Militaires, the most famous of all Schubert's 4-hand pieces, not necessarily in that version, but hey, goodness gracious. Everybody knows the tune, right? Ya da 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 ba ba dum da 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 da. Yep, da 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 da. Everybody knows it. And it's number 1 of these D733 marches. It was actually published as Opus 51, I think, in his lifetime. And then we have 2 characteristic marches. And finally, on CD 7, we have his first work, Deutsch 1, his Fantasy in G major, which is 21 minutes long. It's Deutsch 1 in 3 big, juicy movements. I mean, come on. And the Fantasy in G minor and the Fantasy in C minor, Deutsch 48. I mean, it's also a big piece. It's 14 minutes. The Overture in G minor, and then 2 Deutscher Tanzers with 2 trios and 2 Ländlers. It's dance music. Let's just put it that way. Then 4 Ländlers, more dance music, tiny little works. It's 3 minutes long. The March in G major, which is the Kindermarch, the Children's March, which is 2 minutes and 30 seconds. These are all little things. The Fugue in E minor, Deutsch 952, probably a composition exercise of some kind. And the Allegro Moderato and Andante, Deutsch 968. These are fragments from the end of his life. So there you have it, my friends. An extraordinary legacy of music for piano 4 hands. And it's out of print. So because it's out of print, go for these. Because you shouldn't wait. You shouldn't wait for this. If it comes back, you can get it in addition, if you don't have it already, to this one with Goldstone and Clemmow on Divine Art, which has all of the same music, every bit is beautifully played and wonderfully recorded, and it's glorious. It's absolutely glorious music. Get your Schubert music for piano 4 hands and just luxuriate. That's what it's for. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.